Okay, is level 13 the secret sauce, or are they gonna be like, oh, you gotta be 14? We just had to pad out the length of the game, like, just a little bit more by making you, like, gain a bunch of levels to change them back so that you can beat the game. Oh, it worked. Alright, cool. Thank you, Willow. I knew you could do it. I better put all of my energy into using this cane. Well, you're not using the cane. You're putting your power, like, into the cane so I can use it, I guess? I can help out in the battle. You're the one prophecy says we'll finally defeat Bavmorda. Okay. Okay, so now is the cane, like, a super cane? Nope. Looks exactly the same, but I guess it had the power unlocked. Okay, well, I'm very glad that that worked. So, let's go back. And let's kick Bavmorda's ace. Okay, here we go. Is there one more screen? Actually, okay. I wasn't sure how many of those, like, what do you call it? Sections where you're, like, going, like, in between thingies or whatever. Where you're, like, outside. What are those called? Those, like, wall, sections. Wasn't sure how many of those there were gonna be, but I was like, I went through, like, 3, so let's just meet back here. And I was like, well, if there's a 4th one, then I just talk, while I walk through a 4th one. Okay, so anyway, let's go like this. Oh, and now the, thing, actually does damage them. Alright. So I guess just go like this. Okay, I think the fireballs block it. Oh my gosh, am I actually gonna have to... I'm out of magic. Am I actually gonna have to gain another level after all? Hold up. I made a save state right here. The fire balls were blocking some of the shots. Boy, can you imagine doing this with no save states? And then having the fight be unwinnable because too many of your shots got blocked by fireballs? Oh, dude. Then you gotta walk your candy ass all the way back to try it again. Hopefully you have enough MP. I'm pretty sure I was only like 2 shots away, and I'm pretty sure that more than 2 shots got blocked by the fire. Oops, wrong button. So you just gotta pick your shots and make sure there's not a fireball in the way. Man, it would be so booty if you physically don't have enough MP to do it. Oh my gosh, you have barely enough. I'm pretty sure every single shot hit. You have retrieved the crest of the spirit. Well, I thought that it was gonna be her being like, you have defeated me. No, Willow, don't. I'll be destroyed. Like, my gosh. Second final fight? Wow, was not expecting second form. Okay, okay. I guess it's a good thing I didn't take... Well, I did take a decent amount of damage. Okay, so now I can just hurt her with the sword. Okay. Well, I got to reuse the, Oh, wait, now it's super easy. Okay, she just died now. Okay. They got to reuse the title screen thing. I wasn't sure if that was like something from the movie or something. And so ended Bavmorda, the messenger of the skies. Yeah, I can't believe she had the nerve to like beg for mercy. After all she's like put us through. Be like, oh, I was gonna take over the world, but could you please like not kill me? It's like, only through the powerful magic of Finn Raziel and the birth of Eleanor Danan, or Danan, and Willow, the man of courage and belief, that was Bavmorda's menace thwarted. Okay. The spirit of the skies brought Bavmorda back to the sky. Well, can we just kill her already? I think she deserves to, like, die. The people chose Eleanor Danan as their queen and lived happily, wishing for her, excuse me, wealth and happiness. Staff, okay. Oh, also, by the way, in the underwater cave part where you can see the water, like, on the outside, there was something else that... There was something else that was there, too, I think. Oh, why was I thinking that? Oh, there was also another, like, way to go where you could, like, exit and then you're just on, like, a single screen island where you can't go anywhere. It's like a dead end. Yeah, a place that looked like this. There was, like, other ways to go that I missed even in this, cave. Or this, like, section of caves. where where like there was a bunch that like were interconnected. Oh wait, they weren't interconnected. They were separated by like what do you call it? Above ground areas. Like, I don't know what's the term for that. Okay, so anyway, we're done. Jeez, did I mention we're done? We beat the game. Woohoo! Super dash vision. Why can't? Oh yeah, that was something else I was gonna say too. At the very start of the game, I said it was made by LucasArts. The game was not made by LucasArts. It was Lucasfilm. So the folks that made the Star Wars video games, LucasArts, did not make this game. It said Lucasfilm, which is just saying it's based off the movie made by Lucasfilm. Wow, the depth on that was like not very good. Alright, end. We have reached the end. I feel like they can make it contrast with the sky a little bit better. I don't know, I feel like this is not a very good end screen. Like the depth is not very good. Is that a mountain? Or is that like a pointy roof? I can't even tell that. We got permanent stuck end screen. Okay. Well, I was thinking, I was like, well, I have one thing to talk about during the credits for once, but I guess I talked about something else during the credits, so now we're at the end, and I still haven't said the thing I was gonna say. I'm still ahead on recording, but I was not planning on making this video today, but I figured I would record, even though I wasn't originally planning on it. Today is May 12th, 2024, Mother's Day, and today is the day that I reached 500 subscribers on YouTube. So yay me. It took my first upload ever on YouTube was on November 7th, 2016. So it took 7 years, 6 months, and 5 days to get to 500 subs. Actually, it was like 12:04. It was just a couple minutes after midnight when I checked. Well, I misclicked and I ended up going to like, what do you call it, like my home channel page or whatever. I like wasn't intending to click to go there, but I just like accidentally clicked it and it took me there and it said 500. So in all fairness, because I saw it just like 4 minutes after midnight on the 12th, there's a good chance that it actually was officially on the 11th. But I'm just going to go ahead and call it on the 12th because I think like I would rather just go by when I saw it officially, because then at any point there could always be like a thing where you like don't ever like you don't know like which day something happened or whatever. If it could have been one or the other, then you're better off just like having like sort of like a rule and then just going by it or whatever. And it's like, well, if you go by when you first saw it, you 100% definitively know when you first saw it, versus if you do it the other way, you're like, well, it could have been this day or this day. So just for obsession's sake, for me or whatever, it's just to get rid of the like the ambiguity or like the wondering or whatever of certain things. Like it puts me at ease a bit more to just say that it's the that it happened on the 12th. It's like, well, it might have been the 12th, but it was most likely the 11th, but I don't 100% know. So that little bit of ambiguity would sort of like bother me a little bit because I didn't officially see it, because I didn't get that notification to be able to see when I got the notification, to see exactly when I got it. And yes, I know I'm being a little bit obsessive, but like, I don't know, I just think it's cool to like know the exact dates of stuff. So like a general rule with that kind of thing would just to go by when I saw it. That way I can call the matter settled in my head, so I can like move on and not be like, and not have that little like hangnail in my brain where it's like just bothering me just like a little bit, you know, where it's not like affecting me, but it's just like that little bit of ambiguity. Like I like having the door like shut on it to where it's like settled 100%. So yeah, it was a long, hard road out of hell, but finally made it. I'm officially famous, right? I'm officially YouTube famous with my 500 subs, right? Isn't that how it works? Once you hit 500, you're officially famous, right? I'm pretty sure that's how it works, right? But whoever the 500th sub is, it's like a mystery sub. I have no idea like who it was. Otherwise, I would like I normally don't say names very often, but I was gonna say the name. I feel like that's like a milestone. I was gonna say the name, but every person that subscribes it doesn't always like say the name of the person. It's something with your YouTube what do you call it, account settings or whatever. You can make it where if you have it set differently, then it won't I don't get a notification when they subscribe. Sometimes when I get a new sub, it'll say so and so subscribed, and I'll get an email notification and a YouTube notification saying like the name of the person that subscribed. But then not everyone has their settings set that way. Sometimes it'll just tick up, and I have like no idea who it was. So the 500 sub, it would have been cool if it would have given me a notification so I could thank them for being the 500th subscriber. But I guess it'll just have to be a mystery sub, and I guess I'll just have to live with the fact that I'll never know who my 500th sub was. Just wanted to say thanks to everyone that's been watching, liking, commenting. I guess sharing. I guess like, do people share? I think people say share when they're like listing all the things, but like, does anyone actually share? I don't think anyone actually shares. But if you happen to have shared at any point, thank you for doing that. But yeah, 500 subs. It took a long time. There was a point where I was stuck at like, I'm pretty sure I want to say I had like 32 subs for like a year. Like, it was like well over a year. It might have been 2 years. I was just like glued to 32. I think I was glued to 32 for a while. And then I think I went to 34, and then I was glued at 34 for a while, and I would sometimes hit 35, but then someone else would unsub and put me back at 34. Because I'm pretty sure I remember thinking that like 36 was like massive, because I had never been to 36. I've gone to 35, but I've never like stayed at 35, because then at some point somebody would unsub and put me back at 34, and then I would stay at 34 for another string of, weeks or months or whatever, before we would tick up to 35 for another, 4 days before going back to 34 again. But yeah, I'm currently at 500. I don't know. I kind of don't want to get like too excited until I get to like 505, because there could be, well, what sucks about having 500 subs is that there's 500 chances for one person to be the little trolly asshole that just unsubs just to be a dick to put me back at 499. So there's like 500 people all have to like hold the line and not unsubscribe. But it's like, well, what if someone just wants to unsubscribe normally? It's like, well, I wouldn't want them to stay subscribed just to keep me at this like milestone number, But I'm also aware that like trolls exist, and I would never do it, but it would be funny if someone did that actually. So I mean, I totally get it. So when it comes to milestones, like you don't ever want to get like too excited until you go over a little bit. That way, if you lose one or two, then you stay above the thing or whatever. Because otherwise, if you do like a 1,000 subscriber special, you might have to do a second 1,000 subscriber special when you get to 1,000 the second time. But yeah, I just wanted to have a video just for like just to like document it or whatever as like a milestone like in my life, because I've been doing this, like I said, for 7.5 years. So now we're at the point where if I were to go back, I can go back and see where my mindset was like 6 years ago. I can go back and see, like, it's almost like I mean, I do talk about like the games a lot, but I also talk about like other stuff like going on in my life. So it's almost like a verbal like journal sort of, where you can like, where like I could go back and see like what was like going through my mind years and years ago. But it's like, because otherwise, if you don't write it down, or if you don't record it in some way, then you have like no idea. I mean, you think back like 8 years or 10 years from now, or from 10 years back or whatever, no one remembers like what their mindset was on any given day or whatever. But like if you think back to like what your mindset was like years and years ago, I mean, you'll generally have like a general sense of where your mindset was, or like your level of stupidity or whatever. But like you don't like actually like know how your day-to-day life was, because like, I don't know, like the passage of time is like so weird. Like years just like go by, and then they're just like gone. If you don't like capture them in some way, then they're just like gone forever. And then you can't ever, like, I don't know, like for me personally, I think it would be interesting to go back to a video from like 6 years ago and have me talk about something that was going on in my life, and then I can check the upload date or whatever and be like, oh, somewhere around that time, that was what I was thinking or whatever. I just think that's interesting. I guess now, in all fairness, now that there are these like little periods where I record like ahead or whatever, so it's not going to be like the exact day, but I don't know. I just think it's cool to have this like I mean I don't know how else to say it, but like this like verbal journal of like stuff like going on in my life. Because I remember at one point I made the comment at one point when I was in my late 30s, I was like, boy, when I started this Let's Play channel, I was in my early 30s, and now it's crazy that I'm still doing it, and now I'm in my late 30s. And like at the time, that was like kind of like mind blowing. And now I'm in my early 40s, and like now I'm still doing it. And before you know it, I'm gonna be like, oh my gosh, now I'm in my mid 40s. Holy crap, now I'm in my late 40s, and I still have not even put a dent in my list because it's so freaking long. But yeah, dude, I don't know. I feel like I've been talking about how long my list is a lot. It's so long that like I need to like, I don't know. I'll get through it eventually. I mean, I don't know if I'm still gonna be doing it at that point. I mean, I don't know. Like, I think I've talked about this already, but every Let's Player stops eventually. They either stop for whatever reason or they die and then they stop. But it's like, after doing this for 7.5 years, it's like, is there anything that could make me not do it for 7.5 more years? Like what would, like, I can't even like imagine something that would make me stop. Like, I don't know, other than dying. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I persisted for this long, then I'm just going to keep persisting. Like, I'm off the dating market. So it's not like I'm going to be like, oh, now I have a wife and kids, and now I can't ever find the time to upload. So now I'm not going to ever upload ever again or whatever. But after doing this for so long, it's like, well, I mean, I can't think of like any reason why I wouldn't just go for another 7.5 years. But it's like, well, every person stops eventually. And if I stop, like if something other than dying is what causes me to stop, I'm going to be like legitimately sad that I have to stop doing this. There are people that like get married or they have some kind of life change or something, or they go back to college or whatever. And they're like, oh, well, now I have this other life, like what do you call it? Responsibility or whatever. Now I can't keep the channel going. But like, I don't foresee that happening for me like ever. So, so it's possible that I'm just going to like keep going and keep going and keep going. So, why was I talking about that? I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, yeah, I guess I've reached the rambly point that I often get to with these. Well, now that I don't have to worry about playing, now I can just focus all my attention on rambling. And that's why the rambles just go on and on and on until I finally have to stop myself and be like, okay, shut up, Thomas, just end the freaking video. Oh, by the way, I was going to say this too, but I didn't get to it. I thought it was kind of funny how when I went up those towers and then I walked all the way down on both of them, it wasn't until I was watching Funky G's Let's Play that it didn't occur to me to use the fleet spell. I don't think I'd used it up till that point, but when dude got to the top of the tower, just with like no hesitation, he just like zipped out of there. And it wasn't until I saw him do it that I was like, oh shit, I didn't have to walk my candy ass all the way out there. And I went ahead and did it on both of them. It didn't occur to me to do that. So I thought that was kind of silly that that I just didn't think of that, and I walked all the way out of both towers without like thinking about it. So yeah, whoops. Okay, so that was Willow. I mean, I give my thoughts throughout the game as I normally do. I feel like this game, there is some NES like crypticness, but the game itself, I would say, is very playable. And you know, I never tested the password to see if the password is any good. I'm guessing that that there's gonna be like different like experience like thresholds. Like I don't think the password is gonna like record your exact amount of experience. But I guess it would, when you reach a level, it would probably record your level. So you would maybe just want to get another level and then get a password and then pick it up from there. And then you could pick up at that level. So you would probably lose experience like every time you would go to play it. But I feel like the grinding in this game is actually not bad. It's pretty easy to grind. And the enemies do give you enough experience to where it doesn't feel like too bad or whatever. So depending on how you play it, like me, for example, I didn't have to grind like that much. But if you're better at navigating, if you did end up having to grind because you're more efficient at getting through the areas, that the grinding actually wasn't that bad. So I think that like the balance of like needing to grind or whatever was pretty good. There was optional stuff that you can miss. Yeah, the renew spell, the spell that turns the strong guys into weak guys, that only costs 3 MP. So Funky G was like, he was like using that like a lot, to get like through, like anytime there was like a skeleton, he would just use it to get past him or whatever. Otherwise, you have to either brute force your way through him, take a bunch of hits, or like pause, bait them into attacking, and then attack them. And you got to do that 3, 4, 5 times to get through like one screen. It takes forever. So because it only cost 3, he was using it like all the time, but it was not necessary. And I'm guessing that if you had not found the guy that gave you the wing sword back in the purple cave, I'm guessing that the other evil guy would not have been in the castle. You know, why was he in that castle? It's kind of weird that he was just there. But I'm guessing he would not have been there, or maybe he would have just talked to you and be like, "Oh, where's my brother?" And then you could have gone back to find him, perhaps. But even if I didn't get that or whatever, like the game is still like beatable. You would just have to deal with not having as strong of a sword. So there are like missable things where it doesn't make the game like it doesn't make it so you can't progress. It just makes you a little bit weaker. So the game does reward you for like doing like extra like little things or whatever. But yeah, I guess if you would have missed the wing sword and missed the I forget what the name of that sword was, the sword that I missed, then you would have been stuck with the Kaiser sword, that pointy sword, which would have made you significantly weaker. Actually, the difference in strength, I checked off camera, the difference in strength between the Kaiser sword, the pointy sword, and the wing sword was like 27. So not having the wing sword and not having that other sword that I missed or whatever would have put me at 80 strength or 80 attack instead of 107. Well, it actually went up when I leveled up or whatever, but not having the boost of 27 or the boost of the 9, like if I would have missed both things, then I would have been significantly weaker. But like the game is still like doable. So I do think it's cool how they have like missable stuff where it's okay if you miss it, but it does make you you do get like a little like strength or defense bonus if you do go ahead and get it. So I thought that was kind of cool. Anyway, so I guess that concludes Willow. I mean, yeah, it was a pretty good game, like for NES or whatever. Like it's really good. I mean, it's not perfect. It has some flaws, but in terms of like I feel like it's a really good like Zelda clone. There is a lot of fun to be had with it. Like the game itself like plays well. And it's just like fun to play. And it is satisfying to just like go up and just like poke the guys, to do the little poke 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 and they die. And like the sound effects, like when you kill an enemy and it goes or whatever. Like that's like a satisfying sound, and I don't know, it's satisfying to do the like the poke 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 thing to kill him or whatever. So there's a lot of things that are good about the game. Yeah, I mean, I would say overall a pretty darn good game. I'm glad I played it. So that is going to conclude this game. Thanks as always for watching. Please like the video before you go. Please subscribe if you're not already subscribed, and check out my old playlist if you would like to see some of the other stuff I played. I think there's a couple of games I mentioned in this Let's Play, I think, but I'm pretty sure that all the games that I mentioned I have Let's Played. So if you want to see any of those, I've done it. Oh, I mentioned Legacy of the Wizard a few episodes ago. Yeah, that was a really fun one. I don't think I had ever beaten the game. Maybe I used the Game Genie code to like give you all the things right away, so you just have to go to the dragon, where you don't actually go through and beat the entire game. So maybe I beat it with the Game Genie, but I had never played through the entire game or whatever. So I did that. So I think that was a game from my early childhood. So that was cool that I got to finally beat that as a 7-year-old man or whatever. But yeah, I played lots of stuff, so feel free to check some of the stuff out that I played if you would like to see some of the other stuff I played. So that's going to do it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all in the next game. Take care. Bye.